Hi guys. That's really short. Hey guys, it's Helene Foy. Welcome back to my channel. Today, the idea for this video came basically just because this is something I've been needing to do for a really long time. And I kind of have like a vague routine outlined, but I have been really bad about procrastinating lately, and I have not gotten as much stuff done as honestly I could have gotten done. To be honest, writing has kind of fallen by the wayside, especially this past week, because I've just been really bad about staying on top of things, and when I do sit down to get stuff done, it's because I have like school assignments due on certain days. So I think I need a routine to kind of hold myself accountable, especially when it comes to writing, where I don't necessarily have due dates, but it's still something I want to do. It's something I need to do because I need to be exercising my writing muscle on a consistent basis. And I can't leave my characters hanging. I have a lot of great characters that I need to continue their stories. So here we are. All right, so before I even tried to plan out my routine, what I did is I wrote a list. I wrote 3 different lists. So the first list is things that have fixed times. So one of the reasons I really like organizing my day into chunks of time, or just writing a routine, writing a schedule, even if it's a very basic, vague one of the reasons I really like doing that is because I am in college. I am a college student. I am doing 1 part-time job right now, but I'm gonna soon be doing 2 part-time jobs once the food truck that I work at opens back up again for the spring. So I need to really make sure I stay on top of that extra free time, those blocks of free time I have in between my work and my school and stuff. I really want to make sure I make the most and maximize the potential that I can get out of those chunks of free time. So before I even begin writing out my routine, I go ahead and for each day of the week, write out things that have fixed times and what times those are. So some examples of things that have fixed times in my list that I wrote down is piano lessons, because I teach piano lessons. That's one of my part-time jobs. Another thing would be obviously the food truck once that starts up. I did not include the food truck in this current writing routine right now. I'm going to go ahead and include that once we start up again. I'll just have to tweak my routine a little bit to fit that. And then, you know, things like church, I go to church on Sundays, and just other things like that that have certain times, certain events, and extracurricular activities I need to be at by certain times. So I go ahead, write a list of those things, and then plug them in, first and foremost, into my routine, because those things is what I'm gonna have to work around when I plan out the rest of my routine. In case anyone's wondering, my dog is walking in and out. If you hear like a faint clicking sound, it's my dog. And then I wrote the second list, which is other things I need to include. So other things that don't have a fixed time, but I still need to do. So some examples of this is school, writing, and Authortube. Those are the 3 things I put on my list. Now for school, for me, I am doing online college, which means that I don't have a certain time I have to log on and do classes. It's basically, I just have due dates to turn assignments in, but I can really work on the assignments whenever I want throughout the day. So, but it is obviously something I need to get done still. I just don't have a fixed time for that. And then the last list that I wrote out is things I want to include. So things I don't necessarily have to do, but it would be really nice to have in my routine. So family time, free time. I would like to build some free time into my routine because this is the time, you know, that ideally I would be reading or just doing whatever tickled my fancy, maybe playing some piano, or it's really nice to have free time so I can schedule things to go hang out with friends or whatever, or go call friends, video chat them, Zoom them, something like that. And even if I don't meet up with friends in that specified free time block, just having the free time built in gives me the ability to have wiggle room to move things around if I need to. Then journaling / me time, I like to do a little devotion or journaling time in the morning before I really get started in my day, because it kind of helps get me going, get me hyped for the rest of the day. And then the last thing is workout, which I don't enjoy working out. I really don't. I'm not someone who is very passionate about working out. I wish I was. I sure do. But it is something, you know, considering the fact that I'm sitting down doing school most of the day, or sitting down writing, or sitting down editing Authortube videos, I need to be doing something active. So I do want to make sure I build in at least a little block of working out time at some point, that would be nice. Okay, so after I did that, I went ahead and started writing out my routine by day. So the first one I have is Sunday. I guess technically you could say my week starts on Monday because that's when I start like my Authortube video cycle. We'll get more into that later. So 5:30 to 7 o'clock a.m. is when I wake up and do my devotion, right? So on the weekends, I want to be very flexible with my wake up time, anywhere from 5:30 to 7, depending on, how much stuff I need to get done before church, or if I'm feeling really tired. I did want to make sure I gave myself wiggle room. And then you'll notice after the 5:30 to 7 a.m., I have writing. And I don't have like a specific time that I'm going to start writing or write for. I didn't want to make this routine super structured to the point where it was impossible to be flexible with anything, because that's something that I realized kind of went wrong with the last routine I did. It was very structured. It's like from this time to this time, I do this. From this time to this time, I do this. And if I, went overtime for school or whatever, then that threw off my whole schedule. So I'm only writing timestamps for things that I guess just need to have that specific time. Again, those things that have fixed times, like we talked about earlier in our list, or things like waking up or having lunch, just to kind of use as anchor points. In between those anchor points with the timestamps, I kind of write in order, if it's writing and then school, etc., etc. I hope that makes sense. But yeah. I guess I'll move on to like a typical day for me, which is like a weekday. So Monday, I think, is going to be the best description of what a normal day is going to look like for me. So from 5:30 to 6:30, I wake up / do my devotion. 8 o'clock is when I start school, because, and this is something that you have to really take into account when you're creating a routine, is you have to think about what your habits are. So I know that I do my best work in the morning. However, I cannot start writing until I know I've gotten school out of the way, because I would just be stressing about school if I try to write first. So I know that I have to wake up that early so that I can get school out of the way, so that I can still start to write while it's still early and I'm still in my creative mindset, if that makes sense. So 8 o'clock is when I start school, and then 10:30, I wrote in a break, so this is time to eat, because sometimes I'm not feeling hungry till around 9 or 10, or clean or do whatever chores I need to do around the house, because I noticed that when I start school that early, I really do need a mental break at around 10:30, just because I need time to like get up out of my chair, walk around, just get the blood flowing again. So I did build in a break there. And then 11:30 or 12, again, depending on how hungry I am, is when I'll have lunch and I'll start writing. So when I do lunch, I'll usually sit down and like watch an Authortube video or something, or a motivational video that'll really get me hyped to start writing as I'm eating. And then I'll start writing either while I'm finishing eating or right after lunch. So that's my writing time. And then whenever I'm done, I didn't like write a specific block for how long I'm going to write. It's kind of just a thing where I'm going to write until I feel like I'm at a good stopping point. And then I did say workout after that. Again, not a specific time to do that, just sometime after I'm done writing. And then Authortube, my Authortube task for Monday is write the scripts. So on Mondays, I write the 2 scripts for the 2 videos I'm going to be filming for the rest of the week. After that, I have family time, which is usually around 4 o'clock. I didn't write a specific timestamp for that because depending on what my family schedule is, they kind of come home at different times throughout the evening. And then 9:30 or 10:30 is when I try to go to bed, between that time, because I am waking up pretty early and I want to make sure I'm getting a good night's sleep and I'm not cheating myself of that. And so anyways, my days are pretty much like that. Obviously, like once I start working at the food truck, I'm going to have to plug in the times that I work, which will be on Mondays and Thursdays. And then Tuesday, I do teach piano lessons throughout the afternoon. So I kind of just finagle kind of that routine that I just mentioned. I kind of, adjust some things, shorten some times to plug in my piano students' sessions and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty consistent routine. Again, the only variations usually being work or, you know, extracurricular activities in the evenings, things like that. If anyone's wondering, I guess I'll kind of talk a little bit about my Authortube schedule. If you're wondering, I don't know, maybe it'd be fun. So as I mentioned before, Mondays are the days I try to write out my 2 scripts. And then Tuesdays, I film my first video for the week. Wednesdays, I film my second video. Thursdays, I edit the first video I filmed. Fridays, I post the first video and begin to edit the second video. Saturdays, I finish editing the second video. And then Sundays, I post the second video again. So in case anyone's wondering, that's actually an Authortube routine that I come up with on my last routine video I did, which is actually one of like the first videos I did on Authortube. And I had already kind of come up with that system to kind of keep me on track so that I would be cranking out and posting videos on a fairly consistent rate, on fairly consistent days. Yeah, anyway, and again, that's all subject to change because obviously like sometimes events pop up, so the whole day gets scrapped completely and I just try to fit in as much as I can in that day, etc., etc. So that's part of the reason why I'm not posting like exact days of the week. I'm not posting every Friday and every Sunday. I don't quite want to make that commitment yet, but I am aiming for those days. So it's nice to kind of have a schedule to kind of help keep me on track with that. But anyway, so that is my new writing routine that I'm going to be working on. And that's just a little bit of information on how I balance writing while doing college and doing other stuff, working, all that fun stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time I post a new video or live stream because I did not really post a live stream schedule for this month. So y'all are just gonna have to stay tuned or follow me on Instagram. It will be linked down below. And I usually post in my story or on in the description for some of my posts. I'll talk about an upcoming live stream, etc., etc. So just stay tuned for that. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day and I will see you in the next video. Bye!